Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of My Name is Dad. And before we get started, let's just quickly talk about the sponsor, which is myself, Point P Grading and Turfgrass Maintenance, LLC. I do a lot of, I'm a landscape contractor, and I do a lot of laser grading, and I can do some irrigation and sports field maintenance, all that kind of stuff. So check us out at pointbgrading.com, or you can send us an email at pointbgrading@gmail.com. And another thing is, this podcast is not just exclusively on Spotify anymore. It's on Apple Podcasts and iHeartRadio and Amazon Music and YouTube. So you can go listen to the podcast on YouTube if you want. So all of Brody's friends can listen now.
Why would you do that?
Because don't you want to be heard?
Bro, that's a lot of places, Dad.
Well, yeah. Try to get some more listens.
Okay.
All right. And as you heard, we are back for another sports week. We're talking college football week 2 and NFL week 1. And my very special guest is Mr. Brody Benson.
Hello. I'm back.
He's back again. 2 weeks in a row. It's a miracle. All right, let's get started. Let's talk college football after the first week. And the big topic everyone's talking about is Texas losing in Ohio State and Arch Manning not looking too good. And Alabama loses to unranked Florida State, who are now ranked. But everyone's talking, is Arch Manning overrated? And is the Alabama dynasty over? What do you think, Brody?
No and no.
No and no?
Yes, Arch Manning is not overrated. He had one bad game. Okay, his first actual start, he started off the whole season as a starter, is at Ohio State, who probably has the best defense in all of college football. He had one bad game at Ohio State, and Alabama, it was just a trap game. Alabama's coach is terrible, but Alabama's still a really good team, and they're going to bounce back.
Yeah, I think that Arch Manning is going to be a good quarterback. He is probably still going to be the first pick in the draft, whether he comes out this year or next year. But I think, again, that's why I picked Ohio State in my bet to cover that spread and win that game, because you just don't go into Ohio State on your first real start and
dominate
and dominate a good defense. Like I said, half the team on that defense is going to be the NFL next year.
Yes.
Right? And then the other half is going to be in the NFL in the next year. So you're playing against future NFL players, all of them. And not that Texas doesn't have NFL players themselves, but I think just week 1 early in the season to go into Ohio State, that's a tough ask.
Yeah, Ohio State was a lot more difficult.
Yeah, it would have been, and because again, Ohio State's quarterback, that was his first start.
Yeah,
but he was at home, so it's a little bit different. So maybe if Texas was at home in Austin, maybe they probably would have won that game or something like that.
Yeah.
Right, and then Alabama. So you probably don't remember, Brody, but when I was like your age and stuff, Alabama was not the greatest team, and everyone's starting to talk now like maybe Alabama has lost its 6-star prestige and is maybe now a 5-star prestige. Kind of like in the game and everything. So do you think Alabama, now that Saban's gone, has lost its 6-star prestige and is maybe a 5 or a 4? Because that's where Alabama used to be when I was your age. They weren't national champion contenders every year. They were, just trying to make to the SEC championship game.
I think playing wise, they went down probably to a 5-star, but still Alabama still has that effect where when a scout walks into your high school, or you see them, on your schedule, they just have that aura, and everyone just gets scared of them.
Yeah,
Alabama still has that, they still have that part of them, but the actual playing wise, I think since Nick Saban has gone, they've gone down at least to a 5-star.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree too. I don't know if they're quite like a 4-star, but I think you're right that when Alabama recruits you, that's still a very, very big deal.
Yeah, they're still a really big name.
Yeah. I think maybe Alabama hasn't quite, they're still trying to do the recruiting thing instead of the NIL, pay for player thing. I don't know. I know that's a little bit I think that's like Clemson's problem right now, is they're trying to just rely on their recruits, but they do have the most experience out of all the college teams.
Yeah.
And for game starts and stuff. But that's not how it's working right now. It's all about NIL and transfers and all that stuff. And I don't know. We'll kind of see how it shakes out. I think Alabama definitely needs to get a new coach, a big name and everything.
Yes.
But I would say they're probably a 5-star prestige now.
5-star, yeah.
Okay, so looking up week 2, we got some big matchups coming up. Not that many, but only a couple.
It's not that big.
Yeah, so we got Arizona State at Mississippi State. That's kind of a big game here locally, just because of we're close to Arizona State and everything here. Some people don't really like the chances of Arizona State traveling that far in the humidity, at Mississippi State. They're coming off a win. But some people say Mississippi State might be the worst team in the SEC.
Yeah, I think Arizona State's going to win.
You think they're going to be fine? And the other one is Michigan at Oklahoma, but it's in Norman, Oklahoma. And this is like the only top 25 ranked teams going against each other this week.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma wins just because Bryce Underwood's first ever real competition.
Yeah,
it's at Oklahoma. I just think, just like nerves and I just think that Michigan's going to have too many mistakes in this game.
I think this game is the same way as the Texas-Ohio State game last week, that, if it was in Michigan, Michigan might be favored, but it's in Oklahoma, so Oklahoma's probably favored. And I think the same thing, Texas and Ohio State, if it was flip-flop, Texas probably would have been favored and won that game.
Probably.
So we also have a couple rivalry games this week. I'm going to try to keep up on the rivalry games, and we'll let you know what they are. But this is a big, long tradition one. It's Iowa versus Iowa State. And it's the battle for the Cy Hawk Trophy.
Yeah, it's a classic one.
Yep. And then another one. This one, the Kansas versus Missouri, the Border War. This is like one of the oldest rivalries in college football. But it actually went away when Missouri went to the SEC. But now this is the first time they're playing in a long time. But I got to tell you, people from Kansas and people from Missouri hate each other. They hate each other. I mean, if you talk to a person from Missouri, all they do is talk trash about Kansas. And Kansas people do the opposite about Missouri. These schools hate each other, and I think they play for like a big drum, like some sort of drum.
Yeah, I didn't know about this rivalry until college football game actually came out. Yeah. I didn't know about this rivalry.
Yeah, this rivalry goes back a long, long way, like Ohio State, Michigan. The other one is Houston versus Rice for the Battle of the Bayou Bucket. Now, fun fact about these schools, they're both in Houston. And the campuses are only like 5 miles apart.
Yeah, I searched it up. Like the campuses are like touching each other.
Yeah, they almost share the same parking lots.
Yes.
And then another one, which this is kind of like a newer rivalry. It's Texas State versus UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio, and it's the I-35 showdown. Both of them are along the same freeway, I-35.
Yeah.
But both these teams are fairly new to the FBS, so this is kind of like a newer rivalry.
And this is New Mexico State's bigger rivalry. They have more of a rivalry with UTSA than actual New Mexico.
Yeah. New Mexico's got a big rivalry with UTEP.
Yeah.
University of Texas El Paso, yep. All right, let's move on. Let's do our cover straight dogs for week 2 of college football. You want to go first, Bird, or do you want me to go first?
I can just go first.
Okay.
I have Kansas. Kansas is going to cover the spread. They're plus 6.5 against Missouri. I think they're going to. I thought Kansas was going to win this game, so that's why I picked them, because their other covers for them to lose more than 6.5 points. But I think they're either going to lose by a field goal or win this game. So I have Kansas covering the spread.
Yeah, and I think Brody must have copied my paper, because I also have Kansas plus 6.5.
And I never even saw your paper.
You definitely saw my paper.
No, Dad, I picked these before I even looked at the paper.
Okay. So you did see my paper, but you already had your.
Yeah, I already had my pick.
Yeah, but I'm going Kansas plus 6.5. Again, this is a big time rivalry. This is the first time they're playing again against each other. And again, these schools hate each other. The states hate each other. I see this as being a super close game. Definitely within 6.5 points.
Yeah.
All right. What's your straight pick, Brody?
My straight pick is just Texas Tech beating Kent State.
Oh, so Brody's going with a very, very easy pick.
Yes.
Texas Tech is favored by 48.5 points.
Against Kent State.
Yeah, against Kent State, who could be maybe one of the worst teams in the FBS.
Kent State is probably top 3 worst teams in the FBS, and Texas Tech is really good.
Yeah, Kent State has like the most recent record for like losses in a row or something like that.
Kent State before week 1 was 0-24.
Yeah, they didn't win for like 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row, they hadn't won a game.
Yeah. The only thing with Texas Tech, their starting quarterback is questionable.
He's starting though,
but he is going to play now. Yeah. So he got tackled, kind of funny in their game against Arkansas Pine Bluff. But there was no structural damage, it was just soreness and stuff.
Yeah.
But they were playing it day by day. All right, my straight pick is Oklahoma versus Michigan. Same thing. Like I talked about Texas versus Ohio State. I think this one's in Oklahoma. So straight up, I think Oklahoma's going to win this game.
Holy risky.
I know. I want to go risky, and I want to take the cupcakes.
Well, there's a lot of cupcakes this week. It's just a bunch of bad teams versus good teams.
I know. So that's why I picked Oklahoma and Michigan game. All right, Brody, what's your dog pick?
I have Texas State upsetting UTSA.
Oh, okay.
Texas State, I think, is better than UTSA, but UTSA's at home, so they're favored by 2 points, I think.
Yeah.
So I have Texas State going on the road and upsetting UTSA.
Yeah. My pick is going to be Iowa +3 versus Iowa State.
I was not winning.
Dude, I'm telling you, but it doesn't matter.
I was not winning.
It doesn't matter because this game is always close. It'll be like Iowa would be like ranked number 7, and Iowa State hadn't got like last place in the Big 12 last year, and then Iowa State wins the game somehow. I'm telling you, this game is always close. It's always funky. It goes into overtime many, many times. So, again, I think, and this game does kind of have a history of the road team winning somehow. I don't know how that works, but this one's in Iowa State, so I will take my chances +3 Iowa to either win outright or definitely cover the spread.
Wait, are dogs and it just means they can cover the spread?
Yeah. But they can't be favored. They have that plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's it for college football. We're moving on to the NFL. NFL week 1, and it's been kind of a quiet week.
Yeah.
Since preseason ended, just because everyone's kind of keeping quiet and just kind of waiting for the season to start, which is just starting right now. Yeah, but everyone's still kind of talking. Yeah, everyone's still kind of talking about the Micah Parsons trade.
Oh yeah.
Which was kind of a big deal, I guess. We'll see how that works out.
It kind of didn't affect the Cowboys. It did a little bit.
It did a little bit. The weather delay kind of screwed up the whole game for everybody.
Jalen Carter getting ejected like before the first snap.
Yeah, I know. There's, but those teams definitely are rivals. Those teams definitely hate each other.
Yeah.
But again, Micah Parsons, I don't even. I mean, he's a good pass rusher. He definitely is, right? But I still don't think he's as good as LeVar Arrington coming out of Penn State. Micah Parsons, to me, he's an elite pass rusher, but that's about it. I don't think he's very good in coverage. I don't think he's a very good run defender. He's a pass rusher, And if you think of like T.J. Watt is a much better outside linebacker, defensive end. To me, he does a little bit more everything. I'd rather T.J. Watt than Micah Parsons,
Yeah, I actually heard that people say Micah Parsons is not a good player at all because they said out of like his however many sacks he's had in his career, like 75% of them have been against teams below 500.
Yeah.
So they're saying that he doesn't play good against good teams, only bad teams.
I think that's the thing. I mean, he is a good pass rusher, but does he do everything else good, elite? I don't think so.
Not really.
So, and a lot of times, these guys, these pass rushers, when you look back at the end of the year, like, oh, he had 17 sacks. He was getting a sack a game. Yeah, but he may have got that sack in the last couple minutes of the game when it's garbage time and nobody cares, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about making plays. Now he does when he does get to the quarterback, he's stripping the ball, he's making some plays like that and stuff. That's true. But I don't know. I think to me, if I was a Cowboys fan, I wouldn't be so sad to see him go,
Yeah. I would be a little bit sad because he's still a really good player if I was a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
But
because it would have been, I would have bought his jersey probably this year and then he got traded. Then I would have been really upset.
Yeah. But he's still not as good as like Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I think Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, maybe Max Crosby. Some of these guys are probably still better than Micah Parsons. When you're a good player in the Cowboys, you kind of get elevated. Just like being the starting quarterback for the Cowboys, you get kind of elevated to maybe a level that you're not really, but just because you're on the Cowboys.
And Dak Prescott did play good this
year. Yeah. All right. The other big news, or not that huge news, was Amari Cooper retired kind of out of nowhere. He just signed a deal with the Raiders, and then like a week later, he was like, "Nah, I don't want to play. I'm retiring."
I don't think he was having fun.
Yeah, and Amari Cooper, I didn't realize that he had already been in the league like 10 years, so he's probably getting his pension and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But Amari Cooper was a great college football player. He played for Alabama, and good player, and hopefully everything works out for him. All right, Now let's move on to Week 1 NFL cover straight dog. Brody, who's your cover pick?
I have the Bills covering the spread versus the Ravens. They're +1, so I have the Bills winning this game against the Ravens.
Wow. All right,
I chose this because the Bills are home. If the Bills were away, I wasn't going to choose it. But the Bills are home in front of their home crowd. I think they're going to win.
Yeah, to me, I mean, this game, it can go either way, but 50-50 coin flip kind of game.
Yeah.
You know. All right, my Week 1 cover is I'm taking the New England Patriots -2.5 versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, we're out here in Arizona, so we got to see a lot of the Raiders preseason games, and they were not good. Okay? They did not look good.
Well, their starters kind of did.
Well, the first week when the starters played, Ashton Genty got, 5 yards or something like that?
Yeah.
But they did not look good. And they're going on the road. They're in New England in this game. That's not an easy road trip to go all the way over there, East Coast. So I just don't see the Raiders doing it this week. I know some people say the Patriots are overhyped, and this is Mike Vrabel's first game back as head coach in New England.
In New England.
Yeah.
It's both of the head coach's first game back, kind of.
Yeah.
Carroll took a break.
Yeah, but this one's in New England.
Yeah.
So I'll take the Patriots to cover 2.5 against the Raiders.
Yeah.
All right, Brody, your straight pick.
I've noticed with NFL, there's a lot more, all the games are more difficult to pick because all the teams are more closer in level.
Yep.
But I have the Commanders winning at home against the Giants.
Wow, yeah.
That was my straight pick.
Yep.
There wasn't really any other team that I was really confident in just straight out winning against the other team.
Well, my straight pick is our Arizona Cardinals beating the New Orleans Saints. Now, this is just one of those games that the Cardinals have to win. I know they're on the road, but really, if we can't beat the Saints team, who's probably clearly trying to tank, okay?
They are definitely the worst team.
They're trying to tank, and they have a brand new head coach, Kellen Moore, who was offensive coordinator for the Cowboys last year.
The quarterback is Spencer Rattler.
Quarterback Spencer Rattler.
Tyler Shuck.
Yes, okay. Tyler Shuck is not good.
He's terrible.
He played for Texas Tech for a couple years. We know
he's
that
terrible.
Shuck is not good.
He's not good.
So again, the Saints are definitely trying to tank. They want the number 1 pick, and I'm gonna give you a little trivia or a little history lesson here, Brody. Do you know who the Saints drafted? Who was the last quarterback the Saints drafted in the first round in the draft?
It wasn't Drew Brees because he got drafted by the Chargers.
Yep.
I don't know, actually.
It was Archie Manning in 1971.
Archie Manning?
You know who Archie Manning is?
The Texas quarterback?
That's his grandfather.
That's his grandfather?
Yes.
So, Eli and Peyton Manning. Wait, that long ago?
Yeah, Peyton Manning, Eli's father. Arch Manning's grandfather is Archie Manning. He was the last quarterback taken in the first round by the Saints. Now, the Saints are trying to tank to get first round pick overall to draft
Archie Manning.
Arch Manning, right? So, you see now it's starting to click a little bit there, right?
A little bit.
So that's what I think. If the Cardinals lose this game against the Saints, they should just give up, trade everybody away, fire the general manager, fire the head coach, trade Kyler Murray, start all over again. If we lose this game to the Saints, I'll be devastated.
I'll be devastated too.
Okay. What's your dog pick, Brody?
I had the Seahawks upsetting the 49ers at home. Because the 49ers, I think, just lost CMC. Yeah. He's another calf injury. The Seahawks are at home. The Seahawks always do good at home. The Seahawks do good against the 49ers. And I don't think the 49ers are all that good. And the Seahawks definitely improved. My only question is Sam Darnold. How is Sam Darnold going to perform? Yeah. But I think the Seahawks upset the 49ers in a close game at home.
Yeah, the one thing about the NFC West is all the teams split the division series with each other.
Except for the Cardinals or Seahawks. The Cardinals never beat the Seahawks.
Well, the Cardinals for a while couldn't beat the Rams.
Yeah, but now it's the Seahawks.
But usually you can just go ahead and write down that, every team's going to go 1-1 against all the teams, so they're going to be 3-3. So this is probably the game. Seahawks beat the Niners, and when they play in San Francisco, Niners will beat the Seahawks. It's just kind of that's how it works in the NFC West. I don't know why.
Yeah, that is really true. We always put series.
Yep. All right, so my dog pick, I'm taking the Carolina Panthers plus 3.5 at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now,
That was my other one.
This is my little breakdown here. Now it's a short road trip for Carolina Panthers, just from North Carolina down to Jacksonville. Yeah. Jacksonville's like North Florida. Yeah, so they're in the same time zone, still similar weather, all that stuff. Now, the Panthers were definitely getting better by the end of last season.
Yeah, Bryce Young was better.
They looked better. They were playing better. So I'm hoping that they can continue that trend. Jaguars, some people are high on the Jaguars this year, just because I think the AFC South is so weak.
It's very weak.
The Titans suck. The Colts suck. You got the Texans, so they got to beat the Texans, and people think maybe the Jaguars can do it. But the Jaguars are so inconsistent. I just am hoping that this is, again, one of their inconsistent weeks. The Panthers come in. Hopefully you're playing well. At least can cover this spread, 3.5. Maybe they lose by a field goal or last second field goal, whatever it is. But I'll take my chances with the Panthers. And Travis Hunter didn't really play the whole preseason.
Yeah.
So I don't know how well he's going to be caught up in the Jaguars offense and all that stuff. Maybe they were keeping him out on purpose just so he didn't get hurt. I imagine they're going to try to force him the ball just to help sell tickets and do some stuff. But I don't know. I'll take my chances with the Panthers.
I don't know. The only thing is the Panthers defense is so trash still.
Yeah.
And the Jaguars offense is scary on paper. Well, Trevor Lawrence he can be a really good quarterback. Yeah. You got Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter. And then they have a good running back duo. So I just don't know about the Carolina Panthers defense.
Yeah. No, I know there's risk, but I'll take my chances.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up our episode. Week 2 college football, Week 1 NFL.
Yeah, there's not that many exciting games this week.
Hopefully after this week we'll have some better storylines to talk about and stuff like that. And we'll still have our covered straight dog picks every week. Yeah. So come back next week for Week 3 of college football and NFL Week 2. And again, this podcast is almost on all the podcasting services now. Yeah. So check it out there. Say bye, Brody.
Bye.
All right. See ya.